Okay, this is 2.10 notes, derivatives of tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. This is another one of those things where you just need to memorize all of these trig derivatives. We already know that the derivative of sine is cosine, and the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Well, the derivative of tangent is secant squared x, and the derivative of cotangent is negative cosecant squared x. The derivative of secant is secant times tangent, and the derivative of cosecant is negative cosecant times cotangent. Okay, so let's look at the first example. So it says, find the derivative of y is equal to sine x times tangent x. Well, right away, just looking at this, I know that I have the product rule. And I know the product rule is f prime g plus fg prime. So first I have to take the derivative of sine, which is cosine. So y prime is equal to cosine x tangent x plus sine x, and the derivative of tangent is secant squared. Okay. Then I'm going to have to use my different trig properties to try to simplify this further. Well, I know that tangent is the same as saying sine over cosine. And I know that secant squared is the same as saying 1 over cosine squared. Okay. Which means these cosines can cancel, and I have sine x plus sine x over cosine x times 1 over cosine x, which is sine x plus tangent x times secant x. That would be my derivative. Next example, okay, notice that we have the quotient rule, which if you recall is f prime g minus fg prime all over g squared. So I have f prime of x is equal to 1 times secant x minus x times the derivative of secant, which is secant tangent, all divided by secant squared x. Okay. Well, I can factor out a secant x from each of these, which means I am left with 1 minus x tangent x over secant x. Okay. Well, from here, I know that I can divide these into two fractions. So 1 over secant x minus x tangent x over secant x, which simplifies to 1 over cosine x minus x sine x cosine x over 1 over cosine x. Okay. From here, I can get cosine x minus x sine x over cosine x times cosine x over 1, which these cosines would cancel out. And then I could get cosine x minus x sine x as my derivative. And the reason I do this, and the reason why I keep going until I end up with just sine and cosine, is that it's very easy to remember the unit circle of pi 6 for just cosine and sine. So then I plug in cosine of pi 6 minus pi 6 sine of pi 6. Okay. This gives me the square root of 3 over 2 minus pi 6 times 1/2, which is equal to the square root of 3 over 2 minus pi over 12, which is equal to 6 square roots of 3 minus pi over 12. That would be the answer once we plug in pi 6. Okay. We can do the same thing by estimating our derivative with a calculator. So because we're using Desmos on test mode, we need to make a note that with Desmos on test mode, we can't use cosecant squared x. So instead, we know that cosecant squared x is the same as saying one over sine squared x okay, which when we plug this in, we can use sine. Okay, so when we plug this in, we could say g of x is equal to 1 over sine of 4x squared. And then on the next line, do g prime of 2, and it will give us our estimate of 1.2019.